Young and Restless 2-week spoilers January 5th to 16th and beyond. Ian's wicked pull tightens. Phyllis lures with dangerous temptation. On Monday, January 5th, we've got Matt Clark, Roger Howarth, thinking about his past with Sienna Bacall, Tamara Braun, while he is plotting to kill her that very day. She wakes up and tries to get Matt to reconsider, but he says Sienna is a cheater and betrayed him. She reminds Matt that he also cheated, but he tells her, stop begging. It's not going to help you. Sienna's stalling and asking Matt for backstory on why he hates the Newmans so much. Then, Sienna tries to get Matt to leave Genoa City with her and just start over somewhere new. When he's not having it, Sienna snaps, shows her true colors, and calls him a rapist, a drug dealer, and a killer. These are all true assessments. Sienna blasts Matt for his obsession with Sharon Newman, Sharon Case. Then Sienna is prodding Matt for getting close to Noah Newman, Lucas Adams, when he knows that without his real identity. Matt says he legitimately liked Noah until he started sleeping with Sienna. Then Matt tells Sienna, stop calling him Mitch. He is Matt Clark, and that is bad news for her. Nick Newman and Victor intervene in Matt Clark's deadly game on YNR. Annie Stewart, Catherine Kresge, comes in with her gun out. The dirty detective and Matt drags Sienna outside and shoves her into a waiting car. However, Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, Sharon, and Noah are in a car headed to intervene because Victor Newman's Eric Braden, security guys had eyes on them and knew exactly where Matt was keeping Sienna. Nick's annoyed, though, because Sharon and Noah insisted on a ride-along. Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, and Victor are also headed that way to intervene. They're all going to get Sienna away from Matt. She runs to Noah, and then Nick drags Matt away. Victor takes a punch at Matt, and then Nick, Sharon, and Adam take Matt somewhere else to make sure he pays for what he has done to the Newmans. Young and Restless 2-week spoilers. Adam takes over. Adam takes over for Victor and sends him home because he doesn't want his dad getting hurt. So, Victor, Sienna, Noah, and Sharon are going to head back to the ranch while the Nick takes Matt away. Nick zip-ties the villain, and Matt starts taunting him about Sharon sleeping with him, Nick, and Adam while he's working to loosen his zip ties. Nick threatens to kill Matt, but he doesn't think Nick's got the stones to do it. Matt gets the zip ties off and chokes Nick, who struggles not to run off the road. Things are going to get hairy and scary on Young and the Restless. Nick Newman faces a dangerous crash, and the Abbotts join forces. On Tuesday, January 6th, we've got Victor and Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, getting upsetting news. And obviously, it's about this confrontation. It looks like Matt's probably going to get away, and there's a chance Nick may crash the car. Nick's plan to take down Matt takes a very dangerous turn for him and everybody else in that vehicle. Plus, Phyllis is grilling Daniel Romalotti, Michael Graziade, and it's most likely about his night with Tessa Porter, Kate Fairbanks, and their growing closeness. I hope that he doesn't tell Phyllis he slept with Tessa. First, because that's creepy since that's his mom. And second, because then Phyllis is just going to amp up her attitude. Young and Restless spoilers. Michael and Nikki team up. On Wednesday, January 7th, Nikki and Michael Baldwin, Christian Jules LeBlanc, join forces. They've both been asked to help the Abbotts. They both want to stop Victor's vendetta against Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman. But neither of them seems willing to commit to do the hard stuff. Nikki had thrown down the gauntlet of an ultimatum about leaving Victor if he didn't stop. As I suspected, she wimped out. Michael may as well, because Victor gave him that Roman coin and was talking about loyalty and all that BS. So, I don't know if they're actually going to accomplish anything. Plus, Diane Jenkins, Susan Walters, is annoyed when Jack stays loyal to Nikki. I think it's fair to say that Diane thinks Nikki betrayed Jack by continuing to enable Victor's attacks on them without doing a thing to help when she could do a lot more, especially after Jack literally risked his life to save Nikki. Lily sends mixed signals while Phyllis eyes Kane. Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, is sending Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, mixed signals. Lily had that New Year's Eve kiss with Kane, but she's very conflicted about him, especially about him being around Phyllis. That's not going to help things. Again, we are still counting down to Crystal Khalil's exit for her maternity leave. On Thursday, January 8th, we've got Kyle Abbott, Michael Mueller, getting some leverage against Victor. It looks like Kyle may use the Matt situation against Victor. Kyle may find out Victor used the AI to steal Matt's money. I'm guessing the only place that Kyle might have gotten that info. Well, I guess he could have gotten it from Claire, Grace Newman, Haley Aaron, or somebody in the family. But it could be that Matt reached out to them knowing that they're enemies of the Newmans. Young and restless spoilers. Kyle spills. Kyle tells his mom, Diane, that he's got a bargaining chip to stop Victor. Kyle tells Diane and Jack that Matt, a bad guy from Sharon and Nick's past, is harassing them and is back in Genoa City. Diane wants to know what that has to do with Victor, and Kyle can't wait to lay it all out for them. Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, and Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, decide to start over. He wants Audra to drop the vendetta against Claire, but I doubt the ladies are going to stop. Plus, Phyllis and Kane change things up. Phyllis wants Kane at all costs. She's very jealous of Lily, but Phyllis may make him a business bargain just to keep him close until she can get him back in her bed. Jack Abbott makes a shocking offer as the Matt Clark crisis escalates. On Friday, January 9th, Jack Abbott shocks Victor Newman with an offer. I wonder if Jack will be able to use Matt as leverage. Maybe he'll promise to help trap the guy or something. What Victor did is still illegal, even though Matt's a monster. Phyllis wants Kane to join her on the dark side. I wonder if Phyllis already has her hands on the AI, if she stole it back from Victor while he was distracted by the Matt crisis. Plus, Nick's plan hits another setback on Friday. It looks like Matt is going to turn the tables and Nick might be in danger. Ian Ward returns to terrorize Mariah and a Newman showdown looms. We also have spoilers for January 12th through the 16th and beyond. Ian is back and he's pressing Mariah to do bad things. Her mental health spiral has her susceptible to his influence. Even worse, Ian may be back in the flesh as more than just a hallucination. We'll see. Daniel and Tessa are getting hot and heavy. But Phyllis is concerned that he's facing more heartbreak. Matt makes more enemies and causes more trouble. There's a massive showdown coming, and it hinges on his shared past with Nick, Sharon, and others. Matt is enraged that the Newmans' trap tricked him. He's 5 times as mad and vengeful. He's angry that Sienna got away, and he's going to double down on killing her, Noah, and anybody else he has a mind to. Sienna is terrified, and Noah is even more intent on protecting her. Nick, Victor, and Adam are frustrated because Matt got away and they lost their element of surprise. Victoria and Nate reconnect while Jill Abbott celebrates. There is major fallout for Jack and Diane because of Victor and Nikki. Diane is hoping that Kyle can save Jabot as her frustrations mount with Jack. Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, and Phyllis score big wins after losing again and again. Billy may conspire with Phyllis against Victor if Kane won't. Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, questions whether she really knows Billy and she's considering a big decision. Abby Newman, Melissa Ordway, and Devin Hamilton, Brighton James, get into a mystery storyline that involves Mariah, Tessa, and Daniel. Christine Blair, Laura Lee Bell, is in the mix as well. Somebody is going to wind up in trouble and need her legal expertise. Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, and Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic, cross the line back into romance. Lily is hot and cold with Kane, and Phyllis is going to try to get between them. Audra and Holden fight to keep their past hidden, but it's going to come out in a big way. Michael keeps getting sucked back into Victor's world, and things go bad for the Newmans, leaving his marriage rocky. Finally, we're going to celebrate Jill Abbott's 40th anniversary milestone with a return from Jess Walton. Genoa City is bracing for a winter storm that has nothing to do with the weather, and everything to do with the return of its most manipulative ghosts. As we dive into the young and the restless 2-week spoilers for January 5th to 16th, 2026, the atmosphere is heavy with very sad news for those clinging to peace. The peace is shattered the villains are unmasked, and the lives of the Newmans and Abbotts are hanging by a thread. From the chilling return of Ian Ward to the dangerous games played by Phyllis Summers, here is your deep dive into the chaos unfolding in Genoa City. The wicked pull of Ian Ward, Mariah's nightmare returns. The most devastating news of the week centers on Mariah Copeland. Just when it seemed she was finding her footing after leaving the clinic, a shadow from her past has emerged to pull her back into the darkness. A mental health spiral. Mariah has officially checked herself out of the clinic and fled the state, leaving a trail of worry for Tessa Porter. Spoilers indicate that Mariah isn't just running from her life. She's being driven by visions of the cult leader Ian Ward. Is he real? The sad truth is that while the town believes Ian Ward is a ghost, the wicked pull he has on Mariah suggests he might be very much alive. Whether he is a hallucination born of a mental break or a physical predator stalking her, Ian is pressing Mariah to do bad things. The ultimate betrayal. Rumors are swirling that Ian's influence could lead Mariah to do the unthinkable, potentially involving Dominic. The psychological trauma Ian inflicted years ago is being weaponized, and the fallout for Mariah could be permanent. Phyllis Summers luring the danger home. While Mariah fights for her sanity, Phyllis Summers is fighting for power, revenge, and a man who doesn't belong to her. Phyllis is mad at the world. And as we know, a cornered Phyllis is the most dangerous version of the Red Phoenix. 1. The seduction of Kane Ashby. Phyllis has set her sights on Kane Ashby, and she isn't letting Lily Winters stand in her way. The business bargain, using the chaos at Arabesque and the threat of a destructive AI program. Phyllis lures Kane with a business deal he can't refuse. But we know Phyllis, nothing is ever just business. The dangerous temptation. She is determined to isolate Kane from his support system, luring him with the dangerous temptation of a partnership that promises to burn down his enemies, but might just take him down with it. 2. The AI heist. Phyllis is fuming over being cheated in a business deal. Her response? A sneaky attack to steal back a powerful AI program from Victor Newman. If Phyllis gets her hands on this technology, she won't just use it to build a company. She'll use it as a digital guillotine for anyone who has crossed her. The Matt Clark crisis, a Newman family showdown. The today very sad news continues as the Newmans find themselves trapped in a deadly game with Matt Clark. Despite the elite Newman security, which fans have noted is increasingly inept, the villain has the upper hand. Character the current stakes Nick Newman held captive/attacked by Matt in a moving car. His life is in immediate peril. Sienna Bacall drugged and at the mercy of dirty Detective Annie. Victor Newman receiving unsettling news that his plan has backfired spectacularly. Noah Newman going rogue to save Sienna, potentially walking straight into a trap. The showdown with Matt Clark is dredging up the darkest parts of Sharon and Nick's history. As Matt taunts Nick about the past, the psychological toll on the family is reaching a breaking point. Heartbreak and betrayals, the supporting players. The drama isn't limited to the main titans. The ripples of these wicked pulls are hitting everyone in Genoa City. Tessa and Daniel's growing closeness. With Mariah gone, Tessa finds comfort in Daniel Romolotti. Spoilers hint at a passionate encounter between the two, which will surely devastate Mariah if and when she returns. Phyllis, ever the meddler, is already grilling Daniel about his night with Tessa. Jill Abbott's milestone. Amidst the sadness, there is a glimmer of light as Jess Walton returns to celebrate Jill's 40th anniversary. However, even this celebration is marred by the tension between Billy and the rest of the Abbott clan. Billy's dark path. Billy Abbott and Phyllis might be forming an unholy alliance. If Kane won't join Phyllis's crusade against Victor, Billy just might. Sally Spectra is left questioning if she even knows the man she's with as Billy's vengeful nature takes over. Looking beyond, January 12th to 16th and beyond. As we move into the second week of January, the sad news morphs into a full-blown crisis. The Jordan shocker. Claire Newman discovers a horrifying link between Ian Ward and Aunt Jordan. It appears the two villains have teamed up, meaning the Newmans aren't fighting one war. They're fighting two. A surprising alliance. In a twist no one saw coming, Sharon and Phyllis may find themselves as surprising allies when they both end up in a life-threatening situation. Could the two greatest rivals in GC history actually save each other? The next 2 weeks on The Young and the Restless are set to be some of the darkest in recent memory. With Ian Ward's Wicked pull tightening around Mariah and Phyllis luring Genoa City into a web of temptation and AI-driven revenge, no one is safe. Tessa and Daniel's growing closeness. With Mariah gone, Tessa finds comfort in Daniel Romalotti. Spoilers hint at a passionate encounter between the two, which will surely devastate Mariah if and when she returns. Phyllis, ever the meddler, is already grilling Daniel about his night with Tessa. Jill Abbott's milestone. Amidst the sadness, there is a glimmer of light as Jess Walton returns to celebrate Jill's 40th anniversary. However, even this celebration is marred by the tension between Billy and the rest of the Abbott clan. Billy's dark path. Billy Abbott and Phyllis might be forming an unholy alliance. If Kane won't join Phyllis's crusade against Victor, Billy just might. Sally Spectra is left questioning if she even knows the man she's with as Billy's vengeful nature takes over. Looking beyond. January 12th to 16th and beyond. As we move into the second week of January, the sad news morphs into a full-blown crisis. The Jordan shocker. Claire Newman discovers a horrifying link between Ian Ward and Aunt Jordan. It appears the two villains have teamed begins. January 5th. Sienna's rescue and new nightmares. The week of January 5th opens with a frightening beginning. Sienna Bacall has been rescued, but the nightmare isn't over. Security forces have finally tracked down Matt Clark, and chaos erupts when Nick Newman's bold plan to capture him goes terribly wrong. Soap Central. Here's what goes down. Nick and the Newman team mount a high-stakes rescue. Matt brutally turns the tables, assaulting Nick and forcing a terrifying car crash situation. YNR recaps, spoilers, and news. Sienna's escape is traumatic, with harsh psychological fallout to come. Even after being cuffed and spirited away, Matt's influence on Genoa City's peace is far from over. His rage and ingenuity could spell disaster for anyone who crossing him in the weeks ahead. Crying face Mariah's mental struggle. Ian's shadow looms large. While much of Genoa City breathes a sigh of temporary relief, Mariah Copeland's mental state is in serious jeopardy. Sources reveal she's been tormented by haunting visions of Ian Ward, urging her to abandon Tessa forever. Soap Central. Ian's presence isn't just physical, it's psychological. Mariah's grip on reality unravels as Ian's wicked pull tightens, drawing her deeper into confusion and doubt. Soap Dirt. This isn't just nostalgia. It's a dangerous emotional spiral that could shatter her relationships. Tragically, many fans are already worried Mariah's storyline is gearing up to become one of the most heartbreaking for 2026. Fire Phyllis Summers. Dangerous lure or desperate temptation. Phyllis Summers finds herself at a crossroads, teetering between redemption and ruin. According to the latest spoilers, Phyllis will use all her charm and cunning to lure someone into terrible choices, testing the boundaries of morality and loyalty. Soap Dirt. Rumor has it she tries to pull Daniel Romalotti Jr. into her plans, stirring tension within his relationship and revealing a darker side of Phyllis we haven't seen in a long time. Celeb Dirty Laundry. This isn't just temptation. It's a dangerous web of manipulation that could destroy more than one life in Genoa City. Warning, Newman family in turmoil. Victor and Nikki face a shock. On January 6th, spoilers indicate that Victor and Nikki Newman receive devastating news that shakes them to the core. Soap Dirt. Here's how things play out. Victor issues ominous warnings, threatening to upend every power balance in town. Nikki faces a serious knock to her emotional stability, and it could be tied to her loved one's struggles. With the Newmans under pressure, The safety net that has always protected Genoa City's core characters starts to fray. Chart decreasing, Nick's plan unravels. Matt's threat escalates. Nick Newman's attempt to contain Matt Clark backfires in dramatic fashion. Despite successfully capturing Matt, the danger isn't over. Matt uses the slightest advantage to assault Nick mid-transport, leaving viewers on edge. Celeb dirty laundry. Some spoilers even hint the Newman family vehicle could careen off the road, setting up a cliffhanger moment fans will be buzzing about. Celeb dirty laundry. Even behind bars, Matt remains chaotic, a wild card that could reshape the Newman family's trajectory in the drama to come. Collision Jack's priceless deal, a gamble with Victor. Later in the week, Jack Abbott shocks Victor with an unexpected proposal, a move that pressurizes both families. Soap dirt. It's a clash of strategy and egos. Jack's boldness could secure a rare win, or invite Victor's wrath. Interpersonal tensions explode as loyalties shift and alliances crumble. This deal threatens to upset the hard-earned balance between two of Genoa City's most powerful forces. Broken Heart Phyllis and Kane's complicated dance. Amid the chaos, Phyllis and Kane share an emotionally loaded arc. Phyllis tries to push Kane toward darker decisions, hinting at unresolved bonds and dangerous affection. Soap dirt. Kane, caught between commitment and temptation, must decide whether to follow his heart or fall into a path that could destroy everything he holds dear. What starts as subtle nudges from Phyllis could eventually lead to dramatic relational fallout by mid-January. Face with open-mouthed Nikki and the Kane confrontation, a tense standoff. As the week continues, spoilers from outside sources suggest Nikki might draw a line with Kane, warning him if he's hiding anything from her. India Times. This confrontation isn't just a small moment. Nikki's fierce loyalty to her family could lead to explosive conflicts. Kane may be pushed into exposing secrets that could rip apart friendships and engagements. Nikki's protective nature is legendary, but this time it might hurt those she's trying so hard to protect. Chart decreasing, Audra's risky path. Danger in pleasing Victor. Amid all the chaos, Audra faces intense pressure from Victor Newman himself. India Times. Victor demands that she break up Kyle and Claire, a directive that forces Audra into a moral dilemma. Succumb to Victor's control and betray her own ethics? Or risk everything by defying him? Whatever choice Audra makes, the fallout could be severe for both her and the people she cares about. Tear off calendar, mid-January. Sienna's trauma and relationships tested. By January 12th to 16th, the ripple effects of Sienna's ordeal and Mariah's declining stability will be impossible to ignore. Sienna's emotional healing becomes central, with family members, especially Noah and Sharon, stepping in to support her. Mariah's mental struggle deepens, as her visions of Ian interfere with her ability to reconnect with loved ones. The emotional toll on these characters is heartbreaking, with viewers set to experience one of the most intense character arcs of the year. Red heart, emotional fallout, relationships on the brink. By the second week of January, nearly every major Genoa City couple and family faces pressure. Tessa and Daniel may find their relationship strained by Phyllis's meddling and Mariah's return. Celeb dirty laundry. Noah and Sienna struggle with trust and trauma recovery. Jack and Victor's rivalry escalates, overshadowing holiday peace. Kyle and Claire's future becomes shakier as outside forces pull at their bond. Each arc is interconnected, meaning one character's pain could set off a domino effect throughout Genoa City. Brain mental health storylines take center stage. These upcoming episodes aren't just shock value. They're deeply emotional and psychological. Mariah's psychological spiral raises awareness of how trauma and manipulation can warp reality. Sienna's recovery highlights issues of survival guilt, trust, and family support. Nikki and Victor confront aging, legacy, and what family really means, even in the face of crisis. These storylines bring emotional weight, making them some of the most impactful moments in recent Young and the Restless history. Pushpin final thoughts. The weeks ahead promise heartbreak, temptation, and high stakes. From Ian Ward's sinister pull on Mariah to Phyllis's dangerous temptations. Genoa City is once again at its most volatile. Victor and Nikki face shocking news. Nick's plans spiral into chaos, and emotional tensions rise across the board. Relationships are tested, alliances shift, and sad. Gripping drama drives these episodes forward. Soap Dirt. Whether you're a longtime fan or a newcomer to the soap, January 5th to 16th, 2026 on The Young, and The Restless promises some of the most compelling and emotionally charged storytelling in years.